Hey there, you may have found this video because you are looking at VanDyk Mortgage or you're looking for another opportunity for being a loan officer. And I'm glad you stopped by. My name is Tim Hart with VanDyk Mortgage. I'm here with the boss man himself, the mentor of VanDyk Mortgage and the founder, Tom VanDyk. Tom, how you doing, sir?
Good, Tim. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you. Doing good.
Good.
Appreciate being with us, man. Appreciate it.
All right. All good. All good.
Good. Hey, you guys, so I got Tom on here and I wanted to spend some time with him. He's been in the business for a long, long time. And I've been with VanDyk Mortgage since 2008. I almost forgot for a second. It's been that long. But since 2008, love the company. Many opportunities to bounce around, right? But I've never have. I've always stayed here because of the culture, because of Tom, because of ops and everything else. And if you're looking at other opportunities, and Tom and I'll get into this in a second, we do have other videos available. I did one with our marketing manager, underwriting, the president of John Barnes, a lot of different opportunities for you to learn about VanDyk Mortgage. But today, got Tom on with us. And Tom, I want to hand it off to you because you're going to kind of get into the ins and outs of what you think VanDyk can offer a loan officer and maybe what can help them be successful. Does that sound about right?
Sure. That sounds good. That sounds good. Thanks for having me. And I've had a chance to think about it because, pre-COVID, it's a different mortgage industry than post-COVID, and it's very interesting. If you look at our home office, we used to have 60 people come into our facility in Grand Rapids. We still have it there, but now we only have about 12 people coming in. And so everybody's working out of their house and it's just a different environment. So it's a different platform. But I thought I would talk a little bit maybe to the new guys or the people that have been in the business for a little bit and maybe are struggling and not getting off to the level that they want to get to. And why do I think we have a good company and a good environment for them to really consider coming to work? Because it is a career decision. Every time, what you don't want to do in this business is hop around every year. Because then the good companies look at you as a job jumper. And so you're really making a 2 to 3 year minimum decision. And, nobody makes a lot of money on a short-term relationship. And Tim, you're one of our stars. So, and I'll talk a little bit about you a little later.
Thanks.
But
Tom, you mentioned it as well. I appreciate you saying that. And, we're filming this in, basically mid 2023. And what an amazing ride, right? 2020, 21, lights out, unreal.
Right.
2022, and then this year, 2023, been a different story. Different story, everybody.
Whole different story. And our last fly-in, we have an annual fly-in. We bring all the people who want to come in, all the originators, and we titled that "Back to Basics." Because basically there's two jobs that a person has as a loan originator. The first job is the technical side. Do you have the right products and can you put the deal together? Can you get it approved through underwriting? The second job is the marketing. You've got to go out there and develop relationships with real estate agents, with builders, attorneys, financial planners, and let them know that you offer mortgages. And everybody wants money, okay? So what you have to do, in my opinion, is you have to make yourself a resource. And so if I were new coming into this business after being in the business for 40 years, you clearly have to show your customer, which is basically the realtors and the builders, that you're a resource, that you know what you're talking about, and at least your team knows what they're talking about. And I think if you get that and you get the answers back to people and you get the deals through and you follow up, it's easy to make $100 grand in this business. Now, I'm not saying you're going to do that the first year, okay? But certainly you can make 60 to 80,000, but you got to put 40 hours a week into it. And we can talk about that a little later.
Okay.
But Tim, I got five or six bullet points I wanted to quickly talk about. Maybe about 3 minutes each, and then we can go on.
Floor's yours, Tom.
Okay, decision making I'll call them a new person to the business or a rookie or someone that's been in a year or two. Is first off, I'm going to talk about a platform. I'm going to talk about people, support, attitude, and mentoring. I want to talk about a game plan. I want to talk about technology. I want to talk about marketing. And then I want to talk about local management and people.
Okay.
So getting back to platform. If I were looking today, the first thing out of your mouth needs to be, are you Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and Ginnie Mae approved? And what does that mean? Okay, what that really means to a loan originator is they have the decision makers, the underwriters, the senior management that can make individual decisions, okay, based on your loan application. And when you're trying to get a deal approved, having that little bit of flexibility and having that extra ear makes a big difference. And for example, on our servicing portfolio, we currently service over 12,000 accounts. So we've been there and done that. We've done everything A to Z, and we service the Fannie Mae, the Freddie Mac, and the Ginnie Mae. So if you're talking to a lender who doesn't have those approvals, you're talking to someone that's asking another company to make those decisions. And so you really lose a lot of the emphasis in the decision-making process. And we're one of the small guys. We only have 450 employees. We don't have 4,500 employees. So you're not a number. When Tim Hart calls me up, and I'm the chairman of the board now, not that I have all the answers, but I certainly have a lot of influence, I listen to him. And Tim is going to listen to you as to what are your struggles and what are your issues that you have in getting a real estate person to bring you business or getting your loan approved.
And Tom, if I can add to that as well, one of the things when people ask me the benefit of our platform, right, VanDyk Mortgage being a lender, because I was a broker from 01 to 08.
Yeah.
So I've been both. And one of the things that I absolutely love about this company and our setup is you are a phone call, text, email away. John Barnes, the president, Jeannie Nivison, anyone in upper management is a phone call, text away, condo approval department, our appraisal department, et cetera. And they're all available to us. They don't hide from you. They all know us. You got that relationship that you just don't have. I never had it as a broker, our setup is so much better.
It's not that we can say yes to everything. But many times we can expedite things over and beyond. There's a big difference between, in this business, closing a loan on Friday versus Monday. They got the moving truck there and everybody's all geared up and you got backup deals. So it's important to deliver on the contract dates. And I think we've got a very high percentage of that. But in reference to being a broker, we also broker loans. We have, I think, every single major investor on the secondary market that we can broker to. And that gets into all your non-QM and your off-the-wall type loans, your multifamily loans, maybe your construction loans, things like that. But your bread and butter is primarily going to be 1530 government and conventional product. And then, with our secondary, if you need exceptions, if you need some, like lender concessions or an extension on a lock-in, when you have a smaller, intimate, quaint company, it's easier when I know who you are and I know you're not just taking us to the wall and you're really trying to get the deal done. And it's not just a commission breath that you're calling secondary on. It makes a difference. You don't get that everywhere. So the first thing I would look for is look at your platform. Do you have the right platform in the company you're talking to? And then obviously the second thing is the people. The people. Do you have the right management? Do you have the right support people? And the support people not only in the home office but at the local office. Okay, I love the saying, hey, these companies come out and say we're number one in the country. We're number one. I don't really care if you're number one in the country. I want you to be number one in my office. Okay. I mean, that makes a lot bigger difference to me what happens locally than it does nationally. And I think we're a very local oriented type company. And you get a lot of people, and little hats off to you, Tim. If you're new looking at it, be careful to talking to people who talk the talk and walk the walk, but don't do the job. In other words, there's a lot of people in this business that love to teach. Okay. And I always say those who can't do, teach. Tim's not one of those guys. Tim's doing it. Tim's
Tim's not a
making big
teacher.
bucks. Okay. He's doing it. He's writing the applications. He knows when there's a problem with the computer system, he knows where to go get it because he's doing loans. Okay. Those who just want to be a coach and just teach and be a mentor, be sensitive to those. You can hire those people for $500 a month. No problem. But that's not somebody you want as a mentor. And just be careful as to who, because they talk good, they're all smooth, but they're not in there doing the deals day to day. The third thing I would say, well, just for an example, ask them, we have 1 hour closings. You get a loan closed or approved, we can close your loan within 1 hour. Not every company can do that. And that's not easy to do, but we've accomplished that. We weren't doing that 3 years ago, but because all the originators said they needed it, now we have it. So the third point is a game plan. Okay. And I would say to a new loan originator, do you have a game plan? Okay. Do you have a business plan? What are you looking at making this year, next year? Why are you coming in this business? Are you familiar with numbers? Okay. Why the mortgage business? Why are you looking at the mortgage business? Okay. And one of the things I would look at is I would look at what's my boss do? What's that guy do? Is he successful? Okay. Do you want to be like him? Do you want to make the kind of money he makes? Do you want to enjoy his type of lifestyle? If not, that's not the right choice for the industry. So make the industry choice. Now we have a good game plan. So you have to have a game plan. We got a good game plan. We got this manual called the Big Follow-Up. Okay. This is our sales manual. This thing is filled with different ideas in how to get loans. And I'll just touch base a little bit on what you'll see in this. One of it is farming, FARM. And I don't know if you know what farming is, but it stands for future applications and referred mortgages. And really, when you come into the business, all you really need to know is to get to know 25 or 30 real estate agents, and you're going to make north of $250,000. If those agents each one of those agents brought you 4 deals a year, not a month, a year. So if you had 30 agents bringing you 4 deals a year, that's 120 loans. Tim, would you agree you'd make $250,000 doing 10 loans a month in this business?
Amazing living. Yes.
That's all you got to do. It's that simple. I get a kick sometimes. I went to Home Depot, bought one of those big spade shovels. I mean, this business is tough, but it's a hell of a lot easier than digging with that shovel. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Anyway, we have
it's not physically taxing. That's for sure.
It's not physically taxing, but I always say to people, your think time is more important than your do time. And so, but you don't have to overthink this business. If you have a relatively decent grasp on how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, and you have a desire to want to make some money, and you're not afraid to go up and say, hey, how are you? I'm so-and-so, and shake somebody's hand. And you're going to get the jerk offs. 1 to 2% of the people are going to be a little rude to you. And it's not that most of the time people are rude to you. They come back and apologize the next day, but you just hit them at the wrong time. So, and you got to understand the people business a little bit. So if you're not afraid to pick up the phone and make a call, and we do very little cold calling. I don't like cold calling. I hate cold calling. And I was on the street originating loans for 12 years. And I hate cold calling. We won't have you cold calling. We'll be warm calling, but warm calling is very easy. And this business is great when you got your customers calling you rather than you calling them. And that's what we teach with the Big Follow-Up here. So if you don't have a copy of it, even if you don't come with us, we'll get you a copy of it, but it's really a good mentoring manual.
The one thing you mentioned there, and I maybe have a little bit of, I don't think you were ranking the 1, 2, and 3 there, but to me, the math, the numbers, the guidelines, all that stuff, like that part will work out, for the loan officers out there. The part that you stressed, and I 100% agree with, is do you have the ability to ask for business? Do you have the ability to ask people, for a referral? Do you have the ability to talk to people and that you don't even know? You know,
Right.
for me, like that's the one thing that I see all the time. We're talking to, especially new LOs. It's we got to get you out there. You got to start asking for business. You got to start talking to people about your livelihood and what you do for a living. You know,
Right, and it's the little things like you don't have to beg for business, but you just introduce yourself.
mhm,
Hi, I'm Tom VanDyk from VanDyk Mortgage. What was your name? Get the business card. Then you
yeah,
follow up with a handwritten note. Hey, great meeting you. Maybe we can get together sometime. What's nice about it is our customers, basically the real estate people and the builders, need our product. They're using our product, and their customers, the consumers, need a mortgage,
right,
and it's all money. So what we're selling is information, and we're selling attitudes, and we're selling the ability to perform. And that's why you need a good team behind you. So no, I would say you could probably spend 2 weeks studying the products. After that, that doesn't mean you know the products, okay? But you got enough to talk the talk and walk the walk.
yep,
And
yep,
that's where that brings us down to, the next point, my point of having a good support team. Because everybody in this business, if you don't know the answer, you say, Tim, I just don't know the answer, but I know how to get it. I'll get back to you in a half hour. And the key is get back, keep the little promises in this business and get back to those people, no matter how little it is. And I think that's a big failure. And it's just as natural. People are going to do business with people they like and people that service them.
Mhm.
And it's pretty basic. The next point I want to make about technology, without going in heavy into the technology, we just moved to our CRM system and Total Expert, which is the absolute Cadillac in the business. We got iPhone technology. You can take apps on the iPhone. We got database technology. We got video technology. We got more technology. We've invested literally over $1.2 million this year in 2022 in new technologies. So I'll challenge anybody, even including the big boys, that we have the technology equal to or better. And if you're a techie guy, we could look at it, but don't get over technical, because this is all a relationship business.
Isn't that funny? We're like we all know like the tech helps and everything, and it's great.
Yeah,
Like social media, tech, you name it, because the systems are amazing. But it
yeah,
still doesn't it just boil back to your relationships, right?
it does. One of the best things I think is put every one of your real estate agents and every customer you're calling on into your contact list. So when they call you, you can say, "Hey, Tim, how are you?" rather than "Hello."
Yeah.
Everybody likes to hear their name. Just those little people things. So yeah, the technology is an assistant to us, but you only need to know about 40, 50 people in this business, and that's it. And you'll do very well. And when I call very well north of 250,000. And we've got many people. Well, in the heydays, we had a lot of people break 7 figures, which blew me away. As a salesperson, that's fantastic. Then the last point I want to make is our marketing techniques. And you should ask the lender that you're talking to. I call it the difference between relationship marketing and market share marketing. Okay, market share marketing is what a Wells Fargo and a Chase, a big company is going to come in and say, we want to get 25% of the market share, or we want to get 18% of the market share. What VanDyk Mortgage does, what we do, we have relationship marketing. Okay, so what we want to do is we just want to meet those 15, 20, 25 real estate agents, present them with the products that we have, show them what we got, which is pretty much the same as everybody else, but we can execute them better. And I like to say it this way, Tiger Woods has the same damn golf clubs I have. I have the same golf clubs Tiger Woods has. Even with his broke leg, he can smoke me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not the tools, it's how you use these tools and how you have a support around you to help you refine and get your deals approved and get your deals closed. So that's the relationship. So when you ask them, are you doing relationship marketing or market share marketing? Because relationship marketing, you're going to make twice the money, because we're not spending all that money on advertising like Wells Fargo or Chase, but we're putting it into our loan originators. And, we could talk all day on that. And I want to finish up with my sixth point, which is having local support and a local mentor. If I were new to this business, I would drive down and move to Fort Myers for Tim Hart to work for him. Maybe it's only 2-3 years and I'm going to move back home. And then I'll be a branch of yours, Tim. But if I can have a local person who's doing it every day, who's making the kind of money I want to make, enjoying the kind of lifestyle, that's the local management. He's got the expertise and he knows how to get these deals through. He knows how to talk to realtors. He knows how to approach them. And now what he's doing is leveraging his talents and his expertise and offering it to you. And be honest with you, in the old days, we can't do it anymore, but I'd pay you for 3 months just to come and see what you do every day.
Yeah, made me cry over here, Tom.
Well, that's serious. I mean, we've been together a long time, and you know what you're doing, and I know what your mission is, and I know you're at that stage in your career where you're ready to mentor people and take the next step. I've been there. I've done that. I can tell you when we started with 3 people, all the way up through boom, 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 and we've got now 450 people and a $3 billion servicing portfolio. It's not rocket science. It's hard work. You've got to put in the 40 hours. And I see so many new people say, I'm going to do it. And they put in 15, 20 hours a week and think it's 40.
Yeah. And I do appreciate you saying that about me. It does mean a lot, especially coming from you, as we do. And I'm not alone at VanDyk. There's so many great branch managers, and LOs and everyone involved. But, for me, you are correct. I am looking for, that loan officer that's maybe at a company where they're not getting the support, I have the ideas, I have the plans, and they're not, rocket science, like you said, we have things in place, ops set up for them that we can, that'll help them out. And that's what I am looking for, Tom, is, that type of LO that's not getting the support. Maybe they're not making that money they want to make, and they're looking for other opportunities out there.
Well, it's, everybody there's 100 restaurants that make hamburger. If I was going to buy a restaurant, I'd buy a McDonald's franchise. Okay. Because they got the systems down. They got the processes down. They know how to do it. They do it right. And they make the most money, And so I think the local mentor, the fact that we got $3 billion in servicing or 100 million of this and I'll do all this doesn't mean a whole lot when it comes right down to it. If you don't have the answers for your real estate agents, if you don't pick up if I can't get an answer at 7:30 at night because my realtor's asking me for it and they're waiting to make an offer, that stuff's important. Tim Hart calls you back at 7:30 at night. And so
whether I want to or not, man, it calls me.
I know. So it's a great business. This business is a fantastic business. We talk about 2023 being tough. Go back to 08 and 09. Or how about try 1987 when we were 11 and 12%? That's when I started, when the interest rates were 11 and 12% in the Reagan and Jimmy Carter days. Yeah. Okay. And the thing is, I wasn't smart enough to know that those were high rates. I just went out and started knocking doors. I said, it is what it is.
Yeah, out of your control. That's right.
People want mortgage money. And it's interesting. If rates are at 7, people want 6 3/4. When rates are at 2.5, they want 2 1/4. So you got to practice objections. Okay. And Tim, you're good at that. So we're going to practice objections with you. What do you say when the rates are too high? What do you say to somebody when, you haven't been in the business long enough? Or what do you say? I already got my guy. I've been doing business with him for 15 years. We got great answers for all of these approaches. And those little answers make the little difference to you building that relationship to be successful.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Well, so, anyway, I get excited when I talk about training new guys and getting them going because, you're taking someone that's making 40, 50,000 a year, and you can show them how to make 60, 80,000 and then 200 and then 300, 400, 500, 600. We've got people making $1 million in our company. It's crazy to me, and I love it. And you know, most of the people, well, I'm not going to say most, all of them just put their pants on the same way. They're nice people.
Hey,
You can talk-
24 hours in a day. We all 7 days a week. We all got the same time.
Yep, yep. So that's kind of the feel of what we do, why I think we are a little bit different. And I get a kick out of these people who, you know, I've seen people, you know, they've been in the business 10 years and have had 10 different mortgage jobs. That makes no sense. So if you're coming aboard, you got to make a decision, the internal decision that you want to do it. And if you want to do it, you got to start drinking the juice. You drink enough juice, you get it. And once you start doing 4 or 5 loans yourself, then you can do it any way you want to do it. If you got a better way, we'll always listen. Okay. But my goal, along with Tim, is to get you doing 4 or 5 transactions a year or a month, maybe 6, and making the kind of money you want to make.
Amen. Amen. Well, Tom, I appreciate your time. You got anything else you want to add? You good?
No, that's good. Like I said, I'd be that serious. If I were new in the business and I lived in Michigan, I'd be driving down to Fort Myers for 3 months.
Hey,
that's where I want to work. That's the guy I want to work for. That's what I want to be. So
that means a lot. Hey, you guys, so if you are interested in learning more about my branch, about what Tom's talking about VanDyk Mortgage itself, I just want to invite you to do a confidential call. Stays between us. You can be at a company I already know. But give me a call on my cell. I'm gonna give you that number, 239-910-5668. Reach out to me. Happy to help. And also, we have other videos I did about VanDyk Mortgage with underwriting manager, marketing manager, president, my regional sales manager, John Jones. So we got a lot of content for you to get to know VanDyk Mortgage, the company. But again, I'd love to talk to you some more. And Tom, if they do call, we can offer them your amazing book, I believe, right?
Yeah, right. No problem. Big follow-up. You bet.
Listen, and when you
I could really
aboard,
sell it. You know, it's interesting. I could sell it, I think, for $1,000.
At
but
least.
I'd have to put the video in and do all that and all that. But what it is, it's a book of real life where the rubber meets the road techniques on how to do this business.
Good. Well, we're also, if you do join, I'm just going to volunteer Tom. We're going to do a 30-minute mentoring session with the new LO, myself, and Tom, so you can really get the jamming.
Would love it.
Talk about this.
Would love it. You bet.
All right,
man.
you guys.
All right. Hopefully, we'll talk to you.
Thanks, Tom. See you.
You bet.
Bye-bye.